right, in the shop, finally got the big Camaro back going. This is the little turbo there, the little motor there. So had a few cranking issues, all on my behalf. I had the crank trigger wheel, the crank sensor wheel, whatever you want to call it. So flying magnet crank trigger, and I had it on backwards. It will not work that way, and I probably fought with that for 15 or 16 times, turning the motor over until my starter got hot. And I was just like, you know what, I better walk away from it. And I still couldn't walk away from it. And I just looked back over everything because it kept sounding like timing. And I could not phase the rotor in good enough for it to crank and run to check the timing. Anywho, I calmed down, walked away from it, came right back 2 minutes later and said, hey, I probably put this on backwards. I looked at it and it was backwards. So haste always makes waste. Putting it in also got in a rush, threw a bolt down in the intake. I had to fish that out. That almost gave me a heart attack. Even once I fished it out, there was two other bolts. Two bolts, one fell in, one fell on the intake. But I still had to turn it over and check before I hooked up everything to make sure I didn't hear any tink, 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 tink. Luckily, I did not. So got it running after those few issues there. So it's going in gear. I cannot get it out of the shop right now until I move this 6.2. So that's going to have to get moved. Also, my pieces I've been sanding on. The weather's a little bit nicer today, as you can tell. So going to be in the other part of the shop. I am right now currently working on a twin Camaro. I am welding up lug nuts. Believe it or not, welding up lug nuts here. So that is in the mix right now. Welding up lug nuts to be able to move the car. 5/8 studs on the rear end. The only thing that I have that will take a 5/8 stud is the actual rim. So I have to put the rim on there. I'm gonna have to make 3. It's gonna work. I'm just rolling it out, trying to wash it off, see what I missed. Resand that. Once I resand that, I'm going to be priming it, painting the jams, then looking at getting the motor and transmission installed. It is a very, very, very tight deadline right now, but trying to make a event in 2 weeks. This one here could go and run the hard tire class, but it does have Lexan front windows, so it's like they're saying all steel, all glass. Of course, my car is the only car around here that has Lexan windows. So I wish they would just call me and tell me they don't want me to run that class, but I got a trick for them. So going to be putting this one here together and trying to go up there and take over that class, even though I'm clearly not wanted there. But it's going to take more than that to stop me. So 2-week crunch time on that. So going to try to get it backed out. Like I said, prime, painted, and start looking at getting the motor and transmission installed today. So let's go.